Hi there, welcome to Tarot Land Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Sagittarius energy. And like usual, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be high vibe Sagittarius energy. The bottom row is going to be a more worldly, shadowy Sagittarius energy. We all tap into Sagittarius energy, and if you harness high vibe Sag, you probably want to be in a relationship with other people who embody high vibe Sag, which is people who look at life as an adventure to be lived, but it's also about learning lessons in life, growing, maturing, healing, because high vibe Sagittarius is about higher learning and education, and part of life is learning lessons. But some people harness a more worldly or shadowy Sagittarius energy, and it's kind of maybe more about indulging themselves in the world or in their ego. And you have to get out of your ego to admit that you got some lessons to learn, and some people could have a hard time with that. So, it's just to see the truth, who is motivated and inspired to heal and grow and mature and believe in love and look at life as an adventure to be lived, and who stays in their fear and their insecurity and their pride and their ego and their defensiveness, or think it's all about love is the devil and it's all about indulging themselves. So let's go see. The reason for the top row reading is the Seven of Wands, which is also why the reading came out. You might have had some people in your life that were defensive to moving forward with you. You also harness high vibe Leo energy, which is you don't operate from your ego. You're more about being warm and loving and authentic and encouraging and authentically yourself. And some people are defensive to that because they don't want to be authentically themselves. They hide behind their ego. It makes them feel safe. They don't want to let their more authentic, vulnerable nature out in the world to play. Or they're just people who are more aligned with their worldly egoic nature of it's about competing in the world and looking victorious and successful, and you're more about a more balanced life where we have our things of the world, but we're supposed to be act with character and integrity and love. And again, you just find out the truth that some people are more motivated by the things of the world than love. So you had to stand up for yourself. And then we have a card not showing itself, which is the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, the Two of Swords, and the Page of Cups. So again, the Queen of Pentacles, I view it as Taurus energy. You could have wanted to marry someone. You could have been married to someone. You could have worked at a certain job. You could have been acting like a nurturing person or a parent to someone. But if the other person or people you were dealing with in the workplace or wherever seem to be defensive to either getting in a more emotionally mature relationship or were defensive to learning lessons in life, you could have realized that, you're kind of motivated and inspired by different things. And I think what they didn't know about you is the feminines in tarot can be how we think and how we feel. And the masculine figures in tarot can talk about the action that we take in the world. What they didn't know about you was that you kind of are maybe more emotionally mature and stable and grounded within yourself than they could have realized. If someone's also in shadowy Leo energy, it can be someone who's trying to manipulate you, kind of get you in your ego, get you in your competitive nature, envious, jealous kind of nature to try to get you to do what they want you to do. But you're maybe not someone who kind of aligns with that within yourself. I mean, for a while, it could have gotten you a little bit up in your ego and in some jealousy or something if it was a romantic interest. But if it was a workplace, sometimes people want you to align with, I don't know, kind of the bullies at work, and I don't think that would be your nature. So they didn't realize you were more emotionally mature than they thought you were, and you were certainly more emotionally mature than they were. And you didn't want to keep investing in them and If it was a workplace, you were willing to let it go. If you were married to someone, you let go of the marriage. If you were thinking of marrying someone, you let that go. And in the Seven of Cups, it was really confusing because initially that's what the Seven of Cups can talk about. It's Scorpio energy, and we could have thought that people were operating with us from a place of love and that they had a dream they wanted to bring into reality too, and we thought it was the same dream as we had. And so then we go through a period of being emotionally confused, and we can go through a period of feeling stuck, but love is what helps us heal. So you offered love to seeing the fact that some people are more worldly focused, ego focused, money focused, image focused, stubborn, prideful. Some people have a lot of growing up to do. Some people do like to be in more emotionally shallow, superficial relationships. Some people like to stay in denial of the truth that maybe they have some growing up and maturing to do. And I think while you offered peace to yourself to deal with your own emotional confusion and to listen to your intuition, part of that process of healing was offering love to these people in your life who might harness shadowy Scorpio, shadowy Libra energy, who in their philosophy of life are kind of caught up more in the illusion of the world, more about being defensive or manipulative or ego or image in their Leo energy. They defend a more shadowy Leo way of living life, and you stand up for a more authentic, warm, loving way of life. And I think you wished him peace. And from the Seven of Cups down to the One Cup, by doing this and listening to your intuition and being inspired to not act out in shadowy ways, like in pettiness or envy or jealousy or immaturity anyway, by choosing to be in life-giving energy within yourself, because Leo energy is also represented by the sun, it helped you reconcile yourself with the past. From the 7 to the 1 is the 6 of Cups, and you were able to come to terms and balance yourself out about the past and make peace with the past. People are where they are. Some people are defensive to love. Some people are defensive to being more authentically themselves. Some people can be pretty materialistic or stubborn. Some people like to be more emotionally shallow and superficial. Some people don't want to deal with the truth. I think you just made peace with all of it to say, I wish you peace because I don't want the past to keep affecting my decisions that I make in my life. So I wish you peace. I hope it all works out for you. But I want to be in deep, meaningful relationships. So I'm going to listen to my intuition. I'm going to make offers to people in my life and let them know that I have learned lessons in life. I'm moving forward in life differently. I want to be in more authentic, loving, warm, balanced, just, fair relationships. Who wants to come with? And whoever wants to come with can come with. Whoever doesn't want to come with doesn't have to come with. But you're standing your ground. And because you are, some of the people who might want to be in a relationship with you are realizing they can't, and they're going to have to go invest in someone else because this is kind of like how they like to do relationships, more like kind of maybe more a little superficial, maybe a little bit in denial of the truth that we're supposed to be more, because becoming more authentically yourself, I think, can take decades, Generally, we're younger. We kind of all get caught up in the world. We got our fears. We got our insecurities. We're defensive. To truly be more willing to authentically be yourself and realize that, if things don't work out the way I think and I get thrown under the bus, I get kicked to the curb, didn't see that coming, I think I can pick myself back up again and I will go on about my life. And some people are more willing to be more authentically themselves and vulnerable in the world than other people. Some people could be loving people and they're nurturing and supportive people, but they're not ready just to reveal another layer of themselves per se. Some people will tell maybe some other people in their life too that, I've been offering, like these people, I've been offering you love and encouragement to try to move forward with me in something that's really worth standing up and defending, but you keep wanting to be in denial of the truth. And I want to move forward with the people who have been illuminated to the truth, that it is about treating people the way you like to be treated. It is about being just and fair and acting with character and integrity and being inspired to go live life. And some people are like, can't we just keep doing this? Won't you just keep investing in this? Let's both stay in denial that maybe it is time for us to step out of our comfort zone and shed a layer of our fear and insecurity to move forward in life differently. And some people are like, I'm ready to move forward. And I've been trying to encourage you to move forward with me, and you keep not doing it. So I wish you peace. I'm ready to have a new beginning. And I'm going to go find the people in the world that are ready to have a new beginning with me. Okay, let's go look at the bottom row. The reason for the bottom row is the Five of Pentacles. I also, just like the Queen of Pentacles, I view the Five of Pentacles as Taurus energy. And it has to do with our philosophy of life. It will dictate the decisions we make in our life. Have we learned lessons in life? Have we grown and matured ourselves? Have we gotten more out of our ego than we used to be in our ego? Are we willing to be more authentically ourselves? And some people aren't there yet and may never get there yet. And the Five of Pentacles can be that they haven't learned to love and believe in themselves. The high vibe people have done this work within themselves behind the scenes since this card wasn't showing them itself. The other people were inspired to do this work within themselves, to give themselves the things that they wish other people in their life would have given them, to heal, to grow, to mature, to love themselves, to believe in themselves, to believe in their dreams, to listen to love and intuition to guide them instead of their fear or their insecurity. And some of the other people haven't learned to do that yet. They might think, I don't have to. They could have decided, I don't even want to do that. That takes work and effort, and I don't even want to do it. I don't want to do it with my emotions. I don't want to do it with my feelings. I'm going to live more from my worldly nature. So then we start out with a card not showing itself, which is the High Priestess. Everybody's got intuition. It's kind of life force energy. I think our intuition tells us things like, you shouldn't do that. This is a mistake. I think this is going to get us in trouble. I think we've done something like this before. I think those people are nice. I think those people would be people we could get along. But some people are like, nope, I'm not listening to my intuition anymore. Done. I'm going to listen to my pride and ego. They feel stuck in their life, but they refuse to listen to their intuition. They refuse to look at life from any other perspective. They refuse to expand their perception of themselves and the world around them, or how they view the world, or how they view people they get in relationships, or how they view themselves. They're stuck, but they're unwilling to expand their perception of how they view life. Unwilling to be illuminated to the truth. The truth sets us free. Some people refuse to see the truth. And instead, they could decide, I know, I'll go present myself in the world as a loving person. So that maybe to other people who feel left out in the cold or in lack, so that they'll get in a relationship and stay stuck with me. And we can both present ourselves as loving people, but we both might get in the relationship and stay in the relationship because we feel left out in the cold. So then, what are these three cards? Nine of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. They could be hiding that they do have a lot of stress and anxiety about love, because in the Four of Cups, other relationships in their past didn't work out. So now they're ignoring love and deciding to maybe just go indulge themselves in the world. I'm not going to do love, and I'm going to hide that I'm kind of using my intuition in a shadowy way. I feel stuck, but I don't want to work through my fears and insecurities to offer love to my more worldly foundation so I could stand up for myself and believe in my dreams again. No, I'm not willing to do that, but I feel stuck and I feel left out in the cold. So I wonder if there's someone else who feels left out in the cold and might not feel like things turned out the way they wanted. And maybe I could go make them an offer. And maybe they would be willing to stay stuck in a relationship with me. And the people they might want to go get in a relationship, everybody can feel like a relationship didn't work out. Everybody can be stressed. Everybody can feel stuck. Everybody can feel left out in the cold. But if some of these people who are not willing to do love and be more authentic and just and fair, if they get in relationships with loving people, eventually those people want to quit feeling left out in the cold. They want to quit feeling stuck. They want to quit kind of being up in their head. They want to work through the emotional confusion of whatever happened in their past to free themselves from it. And then that can be a problem in the relationship because the one person did do the work to free themselves and the other person didn't. And then it's like, but you were like a loving, nurturing person. I wanted you to stay here with me. But I wanted to keep kind of operating from my ego and my defensive nature. I just wanted to present myself as being loving. Can't I look and appear to you like a loving person, and when we go out in the world appear like a loving person? But I really kind of don't align with that energy within myself. And I might have these fears and these insecurities because relationships didn't work out the way I thought in the past, so now I don't trust people. Well, eventually, people can stay in a relationship with someone like that for quite a long time, and they love and encourage them, trying to get them to move forward with them, to get out, to work on their own fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs, to get out of the past, to heal from it. But we can't make people do that, and plus they have to deal with the truth. And sometimes they don't want to deal with the truth. Sometimes, the people that they could have wished would have moved forward with them, they could have loved. And they have a hard time acknowledging that some of the people that they loved maybe made them defensive to trusting other people. Because maybe when they did offer them love, maybe those people were kind of emotionally shallow or superficial, didn't want to see the truth, kind of prideful, kind of egotistical, maybe kind of manipulative, maybe didn't grow and mature, and they just have a hard time even admitting that about those people. So it keeps them stuck because the truth sets you free, and they're unwilling to deal with the truth of why. And again, it can be blaming everyone else. We've all dealt with people, some definitely worse than others, but we've all dealt with people who we wish would have been more loving and nurturing and just and fair and encouraging and supportive. Well, at what point do we say, you know what? I'm not a child anymore. I can be my own best mother, father, coach, voice in my own head. I can give myself the things that I wish other people would have given me. When I was a child, I could have felt neglected or left out in the cold or ignored. Maybe people were more caught up in ego or image or the relationship they were in or didn't deal with their own issues. But I'm not a child anymore, and I don't have to keep staying stuck and feeling rejected and left out in the cold. I can give myself the things that I wish other people would have given me. And just because I used to feel left out, the whole thing is when people get rejected, they can get in their ego. We all can get in our ego initially. We can all feel left out in the cold. We can all get defensive. We can all be confused. But other people offered love to the situation, and they did this work within themselves, and they offered love to themselves. Maybe those people weren't on the same page as me. Maybe we had different dreams. Maybe they weren't who I thought they were. Maybe I wasn't seeing the truth of them. Whatever the case, I'm not going to keep staying feeling rejected and out in the cold. I am going to love myself and nurture myself and heal from that emotional confusion. And I'm not going to give up on my dreams. I'm going to stand up for the things I believe in. So it didn't work with that person. The thing is, our intuition does draw and attract us to people because we have lessons learned from them. Are we willing to learn the lessons? Oh, they were prideful. Yep, next time I see a prideful person, yeah, I'm going to keep my distance. Oh, that person refuses to see things from anybody else's perspective. Oh, next time I meet someone who really seems to be someone who has a very narrow way of viewing the world, maybe, and isn't more open to trying to see things from people's perspective, I've already known I didn't like that kind of relationship. I'm not going to get in a relationship with someone who's like that again. If I'm in a relationship with someone who seems to wear a false mask, they present themselves as loving, but they're really not very loving or warm or giving of themselves emotionally, yeah, I've already been in relationships with people like that. I'm not going to get in a relationship with someone like that again. And some people are left out in the cold because they had perfectly loving people around them. But because they get caught up more in their head and their fear and their insecurity, and they didn't listen to their intuition that, oh my gosh, this is someone who is not trying to hurt me. This is not someone who's trying to manipulate me. And, they just got so caught up in their head, fearful that someone would reject them or leave them out in the cold like other people had rejected them and left out in the cold. They completely didn't listen to their intuition. And now that's why some of these people feel stuck and feel left out in the cold, because the other people wished them peace and they moved on. Well, the truth sets us free. Oh my gosh, was that person loving? Did I not love and believe in myself? Why was I so sure they would leave me and that they couldn't possibly love me? And if they were to work through those things, then they don't have to keep repeating this pattern. But some people will keep repeating that pattern because they do have a lot of fears and insecurities. They haven't learned to love their own worldly nature. Other people might not have offered you love, but that doesn't mean you can't offer you love. You can start to appreciate what you bring to the table, even if other people in your life in the past didn't appreciate what you brought to the table. You find the people who do appreciate what you bring to the table. And maybe the whole thing was the people that you thought you were on the same page with, maybe you weren't. Okay. What's coming up for people who harness some high vibe Sagittarius energy that they might not see coming? Okay, some cards not showing themselves because of the Knight of Cups. Well, I think it could be saying, as you go through this process and making peace with the past and standing up for yourself, it is a process of working through that. But when you're ready to move forward, to invest in taking more bold, brave, creative, inspired action in your life, to maybe get in a new situation that you think would be a victory worth standing up for. I think as you do that, you also are going to make offers to people and letting them know that, I've learned these lessons in life. I've learned I don't like to be in these type of relationships. And these are the type of relationships I do want to be in. And I think you're going to listen to your intuition about people who could come towards you and people that you might meet. And Other people who've learned lessons in life too, they don't just take impulsive, reckless action anymore getting in a relationship, because they also don't want things to not work out, and they would like to get to know people, to get clear about what are your dreams, what motivates you, what inspires you, what are the kind of things that make you feel stuck in your life or something, what kind of gets you up in your defensiveness or your ego, you know, um, and trying to see if you're on the same page. And then if you are on the same page, those would be people that you would be willing to move forward with. I think as time goes by, you become more and more detached from people in your life who could harness these energies in a shadowy way, because whatever it was, even within yourself, that could have drawn and attracted you to them to begin with, you're not that person anymore. Again, we all could have gotten in relationships because we wanted our dreams to come into reality, and we could have been a little stressed out about it. And we could have been living a little more from our mind than listening to our heart and our intuition. And for some people, we got in relationships and our intuition was saying, yeah, no, I think there's something wrong here. I think we should leave, blah, blah, blah. And we ignored it. And that's part of learning lessons too, is to start to respect our intuition, because our intuition is kind of an unbiased, like when it does kind of scream in our ear, I don't think we should stay here. I think we should leave. And, another thing that you've learned that people don't know about you is previously you might have you can be a very loving person and a very hopeful, believing person. And so you like to also maybe be in relationships. But sometimes you can invest in people who have a lot of fear about love and are defensive to love. And I think you've learned that I want to be in relationships with people who've kind of freed themselves. And I'm no longer an illusion about love. I need to be in relationships with people who've given a lot of thought to what is love and what isn't love, not being fearful of love, and who are more independent from aligning with their more illusionary view of love. I don't know. I think what you're doing now that people don't know about is that you are aligned with love and you have learned these lessons, and you're no longer in illusion, and you're no longer up in your head about some people that you've detached from. Just as love is what helps us detach, and Seven of Cups, Scorpio energy, it can take a long time to detach because we are emotionally complex human beings and we have a lot of mixed feelings towards people. But as we keep standing up for ourselves and moving forward in truth and love, eventually we work through all of that where we've reconciled ourselves with the past. I wish you peace. I'm no longer in a mental prison about it. I've moved on. And now, there might be someone that you did make an offer to that other people don't know about, that you could have made an offer to for them to move forward with you, that you view as someone who is on the same page as you. And right now, you're not sure if they're going to move forward with you or not. And I think as you move forward, as you meet different people and you get to know people, I don't think you're any longer going to let people keep you up in your head. People who are motivated and inspired by the same things you are, they are. And people who aren't and are kind of stuck, can kind of keep us stuck. And that's not just and fair, Not making a decision is a decision. And I'm going to keep moving forward in my life and assuming this relationship isn't coming into reality. Because if I already reached out, but you're not sure if, and you got these things to work through, then work through it. I'm going to keep moving forward. And if you ever do reach out and I'm not in a victory that I am defending, that is worth defending, maybe we'll talk then. And for some of you, you could have reached out to someone and they had already moved on and are in a new relationship. And, that's what happens. We got to assume that God's got a plan for our life, that if the relationship isn't going to work out with someone we reached out to, then God's got a different plan for our life. Don't get in your ego about it, That can be us like, but God, I wanted this, but God, I wanted this, but God, I wanted this. And God's like, yeah. Are you going to stay stuck there forever? Or are you going to get out of your ego and go start putting yourself out there in the world? Because apparently that is not working out the way you thought it was going to work out. And everybody's got free will. What's coming up for the people who might harness a little more shadowy, worldly Sagittarius energy? We have the King of Wands, the Page of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles because of the Two of Swords. Again, some of you people could have made an offer to someone who you feel would be someone who would make good decisions. If you're an employer and you're reaching out to an employee, or you're looking for a love interest, you could have reached out to someone who you think would be a good match for you, because you're single, independent, know your worth and value. And some of the previous people in your life maybe didn't think that you would get unstuck to know your worth and value, to make good decisions in your life, to be willing to get in a relationship with someone else. They could have been hoping you'd feel stuck forever and feel left out in the cold. Maybe, they went and indulged in whatever they wanted to go indulge in. So, and if the people that you reached out to are willing to move forward with you and have a victory worth defending, now some of the people who thought they could be bossy and controlling or prideful or egotistical or manipulate you or control you and keep you feeling rejected and out in the cold or fearful, now they could be the ones who feel stuck, and they didn't expect that to happen. Because they could have thought they're so smart that, I know, I'll act in these prideful ways. I'll leave them out in the cold. I'll maybe go get in a relationship with someone else and they'll be defensive. And then won't maybe love and believe in themselves, and they'll come back and be willing to do the relationship the way I want. And you said, no, I'm not doing the relationship the way you want. I'm going to make good decisions in my life. So you could have just invested in your own Emperor energy, King of Wands energy, to be inspired, to listen to your intuition, to offer love to yourself, to know your worth and value. And now you're listening to your intuition, and now these people can't manipulate you, because shadowy people try to push on your buttons, like your fear, your insecurity, your pride, your ego, your lust, your greed, something, and they can't manipulate you because you know your worth and value, and you're listening to your intuition, and you're standing up for yourself. It's like, shit, if I'm going to get in a relationship with you, I need you to feel left out in the cold. It's like, sorry, you're going to have to go find someone else to try to manipulate, because I'm only moving forward with people who don't have an interest in trying to manipulate people. So there you go, Sagittarius. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.